And basically, while they're on this journey of a journey to college and to discovering themselves.
I was so saying, don't say self-discovery.
I paraphrase.
Oh god, that was a dirty laugh.
That was the Amazing Spider-Man equivalent of the with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Right up there, Michael.
With great road trip comes great self-discovery.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Right off the bat, Mitchell's versus the Machines. They like just having fun with like the Columbia logo.
Yeah, I think you're in for a good time if they fuck about with the logo.
Yeah,
because it's just. I'm not saying like it doesn't take yourself too seriously, but do you know what I mean though? It's just we're open for a bit of fun here.
Yeah, and it's you can tell we're like bit creative, bit outside the box, but you know what? Doesn't take itself too seriously.
I really, really like this. Sorry, so just confirm me. Sorry, is it the creators, the director, the producer that's the same as Lego Batman,
Lego Man.
No. So they had like a hands-off role in Lego Batman. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, I mean they weren't on it as much as
no, but
as Lego Movie. Lego Movie was like their baby.
Yeah, so
okay. And then obviously Spider-Man.
Yeah, Lord and Miller. They directed Lego Movie. They produced like very hands-on sort of creative producer on Spider-Verse and this Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Cool.
And I've made eye contact with them. So
you asked them a question.
I did ask them a question.
Oh, cool! It was actually them at the Q&A.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, if you want to hear Joe's question, go listen to the Empire magazine.
Unless they cut me out.
I mean, it's still up for debate whether you're in it or not.
Fingers crossed.
Because the whole point of in the Q&A, because they weren't going to have the people who are asking the questions, because you don't have a microphone.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's quite hard to hear. So
yeah.
Chris Hewitt, the guy who was hosting, he also hosts the podcast. So basically, he just repeats the question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when they are in the edit, it's as if he asked the question.
Yeah.
But it's a Q&A with loads of people.
Yeah.
And Joe's question is the only question he didn't repeat.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I don't think it was because he's not going to have the question on the podcast. It's more like.
I just projected so damn well.
It had a similar thing with the guy who asked the first question, but he simplified that guy's question.
Okay.
You know, the guy who asked the first question, he just kept going. I was like, keep it to one or two sentences here, bro. Yeah. That must be a nightmare to edit as well.
Yeah.
A guy goes on about a paragraph, and then he's like. And then they start answering, and he's like, "No, sorry to cut you off.
Shut your damn mouth.
This is my podcast." Joe asked a question.
I had to rein myself in really because it was about In Spider-Verse, which is my favourite superhero film. I think it's bloody brilliant.
Yeah,
and
100%.
yeah, and I asked him about the scene where Miles' dad finds his uncle, like Miles' dad finds his brother, Miles' uncle, in dead in the alley, and I bloody love that scene, and because it's haunting. I'm not like, yeah, he's dead. They can never make friends again.
You're like, I came into this film wanting morbid scene after morbid scene, and I finally got what I asked for.
But yeah, I had to rein myself in because I wanted to be like, and I really like that bit, and what was that like, and all the other stuff that was good.
In contrast, Sam, basically, I said to Joe afterwards, because obviously it's a Q&A and you can just raise your hand. Pretty much after every time that I came up with a decent question to ask, the moderator, Chris Hewitt, he basically said it.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it's just like, I was literally just left with on a scale from Dad to Katie, how much do you use your cell phones? I was like, I'm not saying that in a Q&A with the directors of the Lego movie. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying something shit like that.
Yeah.
I've got my own podcast to think about, you know? I've got my own reputation to think of, which is in tatters. But yeah, so
well, but start with a tattered reputation, and then you can build your way back up.
Yeah, that's true. Put the rags and make them into riches.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is that the saying? I do know my sayings, but like.
That's one for you. That one was for you, Harry.
Yeah, so just for full explanation, the reason pretty much why we're doing this, I'd say this podcast at this particular moment, instead of probably reviewing something more recent, is although it says that it's out on the 20th of November in the US on Google.
Oh, so England's got it early.
I believe
UK's
so.
got it early.
Like, unless I've completely misread, I'm going to do 2 seconds of research.
Nice.
It sets up really nicely for next month's Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah,
good segue. I like that.
Yeah. That's
there's plenty to talk about, like because of it. Like,
let's pretend we did that on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, we always pretend. But announce we're pretending, Joe. That's literally what we do.
Oh, no. It says initial...
No, I'm being serious. We've done it a few times.
Oh, okay.
It says initial release was the 23rd of April. I don't know where I got November for. Sorry. Yeah. I definitely saw 20th of November, brackets US, at some point.
Maybe they're going to give it a brief theatrical run. So
maybe. That's what it deserves.
Well, yeah, it deserved.
Not to get too spoilerific.
It's so bizarre.
It
some of the things in cinema and this...
proper ride release. Like, I love this film.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, seeing it in like some swanky venue for free, cause,
on Netflix is done.
Yeah, like that didn't hurt my appreciation of it, of course. But
they really they swayed us with that one free Diet Coke that we got. we could have had more, but we are just literally too modest. Like, there was people going to the bar beforehand, and they were just having like gin and tonics and like.
Oh, was it a free bar?
It was a free bar. Yeah.
Oh wow.
We took absolutely zero advantage.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just felt out of place.
Not out of place, but I mean, on your first outing.
Yeah.
It's probably. I know this might not be your first.
It's very much my first.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But in terms of like being invited to go, like I was just like, good impressions. Do you know? Like, I'm just on edge the whole time.
Hi, Lord and Miller. Just had a Diet Coke for the screening. Just putting it out there. Didn't want to...
Good guy, me.
How about me? Yeah, we'll be friends. Yeah. Nice one.
Next film collab. Yeah. All right. Anyway, to explain to people who may or may not have got to grip of what we're talking about. So we went to a screening of The Mitchells versus the Machines at Soho House in London, where there was a Q&A afterwards with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and it was presented by Empire magazine. I think I've got that right.
Yeah,
I think that's all of the information.
Because I think the Q&A is going to be on an Empire. Yeah, it's
Hence why they were doing a bit of recording for it. Yep. So yeah. The Q&A was really good as well. Like, we'll say a little bit about that first. Unfortunately, I was only able to get +1. I'm really sorry, Sam. And it was very last minute. I was told at 8:50 in the morning and to be there at 1. So it was like.
No,
and it was on a Saturday.
Yeah.
No, I think I honestly believe you only have. I know it was more due to the fact you guys had plans and so, but you two are the best two to go along.
Oh no! What? No, why did you think that?
It takes me about 2 or 3 watches before I can get any decent questions out of a movie. Let's face it. Like you guys get there quicker than I do. So like I do believe you. Do
you mean about the Q&A? Like we didn't really ask. Like Joe asked the question.
I know, but
it wasn't a press junket.
Odds
I didn't have like 3 questions I had to get in for the producers and my sponsors to be okay with.
No. I just mean like odds wise coming out. If you were going to get that one question, you guys were going to. Honestly, I think if it came down to it, you two were the best two to go along for it. For a first watching of a thing we're not entirely familiar with, but know a bit about.
Honestly, I was a little bit like. I was obviously very, very, very glad to have the opportunity to go.
Yeah.
also, I was kind of bricking it like, is it going to be shit?
Well, yeah, like
because I haven't seen a good animated film since Into the Spider-Verse. It helps that it was by the same
people.
Yeah.
But
like in
all fairness, you could argue the last two good animated,
like really good
movies were Lego Movie and Spider-Verse, and it's these guys.
To be fair, I've liked some of the recent Pixar's more so than you did.
Moana's my girl. Moana's amazing.
I seriously haven't even seen that, so I can see what. That's just me. I'm not saying like, oh, the rest is shit. I'm just saying, for me, because I hadn't seen many animation movies.
I don't see,
especially straight to Netflix. Animation movies.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It really annoys me how, because basically I woke up a bit hungover. I'm not a saint, guys. I'm like you. Listening.
You drink?
Yeah, just on my own in the shower, just like everyone else does.
On a Monday.
Yeah, no, but I woke up hungover and was like, oh, a screening and a Q&A. That's cool. Yeah. I'll rush over to the train station.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry.
No, honestly, we could have got a later train. We could have got a train 20 minutes later. I was just like, I've made this man run here. And then he was like, right, okay, we're just going to get Starbucks and act as if you didn't make me run to the station, are we?
But
thought we're friends.
The funny thing is, when I actually got your text about it, I was also hungover in bed.
Oh, I'm not the only one who's not hungover on Saturday.
I'm Liam. I don't have a drinking problem.
Oh, that you know of. Well, actually, come on. We all do. Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a blip. It was just a Friday night. I was just like, nah. It can happen. I swear.
I said you were busy on the Twitter sphere making connections.
Honestly, I was. I was just like, our new Twitter, and you should follow us at 2 Reels, obviously, is that we have like, and at the time we had like 0 followers.
Right. And
now we're up to the dizzy heights of 14.
Oh my.
So, but I was just like, do you know what? The only way to get followers is to interact. Yeah. And I'm just awful at interacting on Twitter. If it's my own personal Twitter account,
right?
So if it's for something, like for the podcast, for example, I feel like I'm all right at it,
right?
Yeah. All I'm doing is just jumping on trends to do with film and TV.
I've done it a couple of times with Instagram.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be quite easy, and then I just went into a bit of a spiral.
Yeah,
I went into a bit of
the algorithm is your friend.
Well,
when it comes to promoting.
I mean, it's worked because nearly everything I've been coming up on my timeline the last few days. Has been like
something that 2 Reels has replied to.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, no, it's
sorry,
algorithm,
mate.
man.
No, it's fine.
The algorithm has a purpose, apparently. Like,
and I thought I'd play the game on Twitter.
Yeah.
On a Friday night.
Yeah.
And these things just kind of come about, and I just with 2 Reels I only really follow like actors or then like studios. I know they're just trying to sell their movies, their product.
Yeah.
But in the replies is basically where you could
capitalize.
You could capitalize, basically.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I say capitalize like I've got more than 14 followers. Do you know what I mean?
At the same time, as well, when it's the actors and stuff, if it's like an actor you're a bit fond of, like the or even director, like the Edgar Wright thing the other day.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fucking cool moment.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
The reason we're doing this is for pretty fucking cool moments.
Yeah.
Like this is.
Well, I'm doing this because I'm bored.
Yeah, it's an outlet. It's an outlet for that. I feel like
I needed a hobby.
Wanted.
And everything else just seems really shit and boring.
I'm not good.
And I really don't want to take up the gym.
I can't draw particularly well, and so I don't have that outlet. Writing, no. I go through phases. But this is perfect kind of outlet for my interest in that.
I do it to feel included.
Oh, well, you are.
Thank you.
Hence why we both went to the screening of this movie, and going back to what I was talking about, the worry for me was like, it was very nice to be invited, but what if I don't like it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe not if I don't like it, but if it's so bland, because I was
fearing it would be average.
Yeah.
Why did this one go to Netflix?
Exactly. Yeah.
I know that sounds bad,
their rep so far should have got them to the cinema.
Yeah.
Although,
100%.
to be fair, like, you know,
No.
well, I mean, you're not wrong, but it's mad what goes straight streaming these days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I
very
feel
true.
like we're now probably turning a corner to saying, like, because I feel like streaming platforms have had good TV shows,
Yes.
with a sprinkling of like good movies.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've seen a lot of good movies that have gone straight to streaming,
Yeah,
but they tend to be
like
very-
dramas.
Yeah, and also, like, I mean, you know me, I'm a spooky boy.
Right, okay.
Do like a horror movie, and there's plenty of like trash that gets in terms of horror that goes straight streaming, but there's also like a lot of good stuff that's just like low budget or just a bit sort of different, bit weird. So
Yeah, it's because I imagine I'm not a horror fan, but if I'm going to watch a horror, you don't want to just because the problem is that horror formulas can be so repetitive.
yeah,
That it's that you want if something that's going to be really good and scary stuff, it's going to be too obscure it's not going to make it to the cinema.
Yeah,
people
yeah.
be like, oh, didn't
Yeah.
understand that one.
yeah.
But like you want to be freaked out. It's
Yeah.
going to be more. Yeah, that makes sense. That
And,
does
like,
make sense.
Yeah, I think
But maybe, and you could make the same kind of point about animation.
I guess because I mean this is like really unique.
Hmm.
I mean, it certainly felt unique to me watching it. And I mean it's been rightly praised. Like, I looked it up, it's got like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I didn't see that until afterwards because basically, right. This film wasn't really promoted heavily.
No.
No.
So
no.
even
I
if
saw
you're
one
gonna-
trailer on Netflix a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I just feel
That's
like
it.
even if you're gonna just put it on streaming, it just seems mad that you haven't.
Don't promote
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean I'm sure they have promoted it, but it seems like it's just not nearly as much as other
minimal.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're saying is where you say it's unique as well. Flip side of that, what I was going to say about the people that make it as well is their signature is there though.
Yeah.
Like the way that it's the things where she sees the colors and things like that as well. I feel like that's all over the Lego Movie and Spider-Verse as well. I love it. I really love it where it's the animation, but then it's the cartoon.
Yeah.
It's kind of thing like that. I know there's a cartoon aspect to the drawing of it, but it's very
It's
much
like a-
it's 2D-ish cartoon.
Yeah, 2D overlay over the 3D
I-
animation.
That signature is it somehow it just adds to it even more.
Well,
It's so good.
What they were talking about in the Q&A was about how like, their role as like a producer, they see their role as producers as like helping filmmakers with like a unique sort of vision, like, you know, help their films get made essentially.
Yeah.
And sort of to realize their vision. And they made a few references to like the hand of the artist, and I think you can really tell like in Spider-Verse, the sort of look and feel of it, it feels like a comic book.
Yes.
And
yes.
obviously, and there's a lot of, besides the bits which are a bit sort of psychedelic and stuff, you know, it's really unique feel. They're talking about how they wanted the scenes with the Mitchells to feel like sort of watercolor and like sort of handmade, and in contrast to like the sort of
like this.
yeah, I mean it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And actually, I feel like I've taken in how beautiful it is more so since, because I think I just found it so like funny.
Yeah.
First
Sorry,
time
I love
around.
that scene.
Oh yeah, the
They were like, that sounds dangerous. Just get to the road.
yeah, and just sort of rambling a bit, but basically it's you know, looks good,
It's so good.
and I respect it. But yeah, it contrasts really nicely with the villains, like the sort of Apple satire, like the cold, sterile look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's brilliant too. Olivia Colman.
Oh yeah, Olivia Colman's
She's
fantastic.
so good.
This whole cast is brilliant. Danny McBride as the dad is so funny.
Yeah, it is. I looked up the cast afterwards because there was a few. It was. Do you know what? I looked up the cast because of Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
I was like, I fucking know that voice. It's not Emma Thompson,
Hmm.
but it's in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck, who is it? And I was like, but I can't even remember who else I thought it might be. But no, yeah. And then I looked up. I thought, of course it's her. I can hear it now. But yeah, of course it's her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was so good, so good. But also, I think so it's a really weird thing to like the thing. Full respect, just as from over the years of growing up, like me and Sam trying to come up with different handshakes. Anytime someone comes up with a new secret handshake, I get so fucking jealous.
What's it called? The Ractograph.
Oh, it's just such a good idea. Because I was into dinosaurs as a kid as well, and even I didn't come up with. Oh,
But did you ever call up strangers from the phone book and ask if they wanted to discuss dinosaurs with you?
No,
you were never that into dinosaurs, were you?
But
do you have pterodactyl eyes?
Which basically means that you can see superhuman lengths and superhuman preciseness.
I've got Triceratops speed.
Oh yeah.
I'm fucking slow.
Oh, Triceratops. Yeah.
Triceratops
yeah.
speed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right. Land
I've
Before
got
Time.
thick skin.
You got Land Before Time, right?
Long neck, 3-horn.
Sharptooth. That was my impression of the
Sharptooth.
little guy.
That was my favourite movie growing up.
Yeah, really good. Right. Triceratops character. Her name's Sarah.
Oh,
yeah?
don't.
Little,
I found this out years
little
later.
pun.
Oh my god, it's genius.
Triceratops. Sarah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they're all something to like. They got plucky.
It's literally been about 25 years since I've seen those movies, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
Yeah,
you're missing out,
yeah.
mate. You're missing out.
You don't know what we're talking about.
No, I've seen them before, but when I was 6.
I mean,
was
to be
one of the
fair,
ones-
I don't
I've
think
not felt any
That
need
was the
to
one
go
of the
back.
ones. That was one of the ones that was on loop. That movie.
Yeah, it was. I don't think I've seen it in a while, but I have definitely nostalgically watched YouTube clips.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind watching to see how it holds up, but yeah. But
Sorry, got
love
distracted.
dinosaurs.
We're watching Mitchell's versus the Machines on mute as we record this. I bloody love the digs it's having at Apple and Google.
They're not subtle.
No,
But
not
necessary.
At all. Oh, 100% necessary.
It's brilliant. My favorite. It's not even necessarily hit the bit yet, but it's just that brilliant bit where it's like, and to make sure they absolutely don't turn evil. Like that.
Yeah.
That was part of the thing. I'm like,
That's
oh, brilliant.
so good.
As a kill code in it, because I feel like even in a real serious expo where they released that first robot, there is definitely going to be some talk about it not
100%.
turning evil.
I mean,
Guys, don't worry, it won't turn evil.
Also, don't do it.
yeah. I mean,
It won't turn evil. No, in real life, they never turn evil.
they would definitely turn
Just
evil.
don't do it.
No, it won't. It's that everything that turns evil in a movie just doesn't happen in real life.
What do you mean everything that turns evil?
It always gets that level of intelligence that is. It's just no. A robot machine is never turning evil. It just does exactly what this does. It's exactly the same, but it just moves like a person. That's it. It never gets intelligent.
He
It
lifted
never
up his
goes beyond
phone
us.
when he.
It never
when he
makes the
said,
judgment that we're our own worst enemy. It just doesn't do it. And if it does, there is a kill switch. It's not built into their screen. It is just somewhere, and they can turn our phones off at any minute. It's that. The machines never turn evil. I'm just sorry to spoil your fantasy, guys. The machines never kill us.
It seems,
you say fantasy like we want it to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want the Terminator 2. I don't want
feel like it's got to a point where people kind of want it to happen.
No, I'm very much. Every time there's a new. Oh, look at this robot they've made.
Yeah.
I'm always like, no, fuck off, stop
No,
it.
Oh,
honestly.
doesn't this Boston Dynamics War Dog now, which has a fucking mounted cannon on its back,
Jesus.
isn't it like, oh, isn't that like next step in technology? I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, and we're all dead.
No, just don't worry,
And I
guys.
just don't-
The machines
look-
will never take over. The people controlling the machines will take over, but it will never be just the machines.
You say that like that's better.
Yeah.
It's not better, but my point is, it's not the machines. It's still just humans, but they're the new weapons. That's all. It's like
Okay, great.
If you feel that way, you obviously aren't paying attention. So,
just jump back to the movie. The thing. I've been to this dinosaur park after seeing that poster. That is 100% happened to me.
Really?
Absolutely. Where you see the poster and it's like that, and you get to the park, and they're like that.
and it's just like, yeah. So because we're an audible medium, and people are listening. Where you're on a road trip, and you get duped by signs.
Yeah.
You get duped by like in 20 miles is XYZ.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, we'll turn off.
Yeah.
We'll go and explore, and then you turn up, and it's just like grim.
Shit, grim.
Yeah.
Really cool looking, cool dinosaurs. It looks like, oh, we're going to dinosaur park. Obviously, it's going to be like just mannequins and stuff like that. You've been to it before, but the good ones are good. You're like, yeah, okay. And you turn up and they've got googly eyes and they're not in the right size. And
Yeah.
it's just, there's no information about the dinosaurs either. It's just, it's like, take a picture with sort of a dinosaur. And you're like, oh.
Take a picture with this, 70s accurate depiction of a dinosaur made out of polystyrene and chicken wire,
Just
painted
They're just-
like like done by Neil Buchanan from Art Attack.
And it hasn't been.
But not as good.
Let's not. I was gonna say, let's not knock Neil Buchanan.
Literally, but just not as good.
It doesn't look like a dinosaur, but it's very impressive.
It shouldn't look like you made it at home.
No, it's very impressive that he made it out of like 100 bin lids. On a field.
But there's that bit of damage that happened in the 70s they never fixed.
They're just playing the Jurassic Park theme on a loop on like a Casio.
Yes.
But it's not quite the
it's a
Jurassic
loop.
Park.
So someo's done it. They've pressed the button where you like it records what you've input.
Yeah.
And then press B and then 2 and it's on a loop forever.
Keep
But there's just one note wrong, so they don't get.
Literally like that. Like. Yeah, exactly. that some said was because again, bit of a dinosaur nerd.
Yeah.
Like you go there and you're just like, it's wrong. That's not what it is. It wasn't that color. Although you don't really actually know what color they were, but yeah.
We might have to talk about the movie instead of
talking about Mitchell's versus the Machines.
I mean, I feel like at 30 minutes into the podcast, we should have established that.
We said the name.
28 minutes of that was about sex robots. So,
right, okay.
It's fine.
I definitely had to cut.
Yeah. So Mitchell's versus the Machines. Fantastic animated film directed by Mike Riordan, something like that. Why did I lead with that? I don't remember his name. I forgot to memorize his name.
Michael Rianda.
Michael Rianda. Okay, cool. He also voices the little brother who's obsessed with dinosaurs. Basically,
hence why we've been talking about dinosaurs for the last couple of minutes.
Yes. Basically, it's a lovely story about a family trying to connect on a road trip to the daughter's first year at college, and that's interrupted.
The dad and the daughter particularly are at odds.
Yeah, Katie's the protagonist.
Yeah, Katie's the protagonist.
The daughter who's going off to film school, going off to college, going to study film.
To be honest, I would say they both are. They both. I know she's
the protagonist.
But
not that he's the antagonist.
No. But I feel every time she has a development cutscene, they cut to him having his development cut. Like
it's not quite as equal.
I think it marries up a lot. I would say it's about both of their journey.
They're both protagonists, but I'd say it's told from her perspective, very much so.
Yeah. Okay,
hence why they have included all the kind of animation.
Yeah, we're seeing her perspective.
Yeah, that she's using in her really creative videos that she makes that are a lot of fun. And basically, while they're on this journey of a journey to college and to discovering themselves.
I was so saying, don't say self-discovery.
I paraphrase it.
Oh god, that was a dirty off.
That was the Amazing Spider-Man equivalent of the with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Right up there, Michael.
With great road trip comes great self-discovery.
Yeah. That's good. We just read Michael Sheen. Is it Michael? Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen goes like, if you have the ability to do something, you have the moral obligation to do so. It's just not. It's not as catchy, mate. Anywho,
could you just say that again, but the correct line, please, Martin? Exactly how it's read, how it's written there, down on that script there. If you could just not go off script, because I don't know if you know a lot about Spider-Man, you old piece of shit. Basically, with great power comes great responsibility is his mantra. And if there's one line that people know about Spider-Man here, it's that. And if you'd like to say it, we can just pop it straight in the movie and we can just move on. And he just doesn't say it, and they're just like, look, we're not going to shut down production, but honestly, I'm disappointed.
Every decision the character ever makes is entirely based on that line.
Which no one ever actually says in the comic. It's just a little sort of Stan Lee.
It's just on the front, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just Stan Lee's like, and then Spider-Man learnt that with great power comes great responsibility. Anyway, robots attack the world.
From Stan Lee to deadly robots made by Apple.
That sound like Conan O'Brien, right? That is Conan O'Brien.
One of them is Conan O'Brien. Most of them played by Beck Bennett, who's on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah, he's one of because there's two that malfunction and sort of join the family.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, such a good idea.
It's like Eric and Diana Bot 5000 or something.
Oh no, and also Eric. Like that's what he said. No. He says his name. I'm Eric. And I'm also Eric. and you can't be Eric. Diana Butt 5000.
Yeah. And that Dinobot 5000 or whatever the name is, something like that, is Fred Armisen, who used to be on Saturday Night Live. You recognise him.
Also in Portlandia.
Oh yeah.
Which I love. I quite like the show. It's got some good skits.
It's one of them I've seen clips on
Hit and
YouTube,
misses.
always enjoyed,
Yeah.
but like never seen like an episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic.
I thought some of the robots. I thought one of them was is it Jimmy Cho? You know, who's in Howard and Kumar.
Oh, is it?
And you know.
Yeah, I know. the guy.
Who's in? I should have started with who is Zulu in Star Trek.
Yeah, John
Should have
Cho.
started.
No, I feel like
Who did I say?
be
Jimmy
fair-
Choo. Like Jimmy Choo.
Harold Kumar.
Sorry, John.
Harold Kumar is.
Jimmy Choo. Jimmy Choo.
Jimmy Choo Choo. You know, the train guy.
Him and Harold Kumar is almost as iconic for him as.
Yeah. Honestly, I know he probably wants to get away from it, but I went there first.
I don't. Yeah,
John Cho.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
but,
They're
I thought it sounded like him. The
Maybe.
robot's voices. No, I don't know. He's not in there.
Oh, okay.
So.
I remember. So sorry, just quick on back to this. So at the beginning, I'm sure I'm misremembering the line and stuff like that, but there's that bit where it shows a bit where they're coming through the tunnel before they do the jump back,
right.
and they're driving into it, and I swear they said the last surviving humans.
Yeah, that's a mislead. It's like
Yeah.
the last of the three. They say last of the humans.
Last of
and
the
they
humans,
are the
that's
last
it.
of the humans to not be
Yeah.
captured.
But I remember seeing that.
Mm.
Of the last of the humans, and then when the bit came where the robots were going to start doing the thing, I was like, "Oh shit, this is about to get really fucking dark."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was
No,
like,
it didn't.
and then I saw them drop
drop
in.
No.
I saw them dropping things, and you're like, "Oh, okay, they're going to do it that way." We don't see it, but they've wiped out the humans. And then when they land at that shop and there's a load of humans there, I'm like, "Okay, now it's about to get fucking dark." It never did. Okay,
No.
like it
good.
very much stayed a certain level. I'm like, "Okay, cool, that's fine." Okay, oh, it would have been really out of sorts. Like, oh, okay, the robots kill everybody.
It would
Okay,
have been quite something if the Mitchells do defeat them, but like not in time, and all the humans are dead, and it's just they're bonded, but like atop the ashes of like
Of
just
humanity. Literally.
everyone. They're all that's left.
We bonded together as a family, but the whole Earth completely destroyed.
But hey, isn't it worth it? Really?
Yeah, we still got each other. Oh god.
That's what they would do in the Fast and Furious films.
It's all
Like, that
about
would be-
family.
Yeah, like
That's the only ending I can see for the franchise.
Yeah.
is that the Earth is it's like a zoomed out shot of like the Earth, and it just like explodes, and out of the explosion comes like a rocket, and it's just got like the family, quote unquote, riding off on a rocket, and
with some cars on.
yeah, with the cars are on the top, and
Yeah.
they're like, well, this family's going to Mars, and it's just like, and you're just like, oh, so the world's blown up. Like that's the end of the Fast franchise.
Yeah.
Something that me and Sam were just discussing is a ridiculous title if you take away the number or not, because if you just had a film that was just called Fast,
Yeah.
you'd be like, well, that is the dumbest title of all time.
But it's actually called Fast Five.
Yeah,
And that's the
which
dumbest
makes it
title of all
which
time.
makes it maybe the fifth dumbest, because there's a lot of dumb titles in that sequence.
I know the movies. I know the movies aren't like supposed to be anything near like the highest quality of movies ever. I enjoy them, but I know you guys don't. But I do enjoy them. But I know they're trash. I still feel like even from the minimum I expect from them is a fresh title for each one,
Right.
not just stick a number on it.
Is that something you expect?
It
Like,
is.
at what point were you disappointed? Like,
Was
at
it
what point were
F9
you just
they call it
like,
now?
Basically, after Too Fast, Too Furious, I was like, no, I'm done. I like
oh, that's a second film.
exactly.
That was over,
I like that
that's
when they
20
didn't follow
years
that
ago.
trend. I'm like, fuck off.
So what you wanted, like Fast and Furious?
I didn't even. Do you know what? Didn't even need a
Fast
pun title.
for Freedom.
Yeah, why not?
It's a charity I'm involved in.
It's also
I didn't even need a
somehow
pun title.
a sequel to A National Treasure.
and
just really jump back
Hunger,
to the
starring
movie.
Michael Fassbender.
Jumping back to the movie we're supposed to be talking about as well, the Wi-Fi bit,
Yes.
as comical as it is,
True.
incredibly accurate.
Yeah.
Like we would be like snuffed out like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd,
it was just yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I get really annoyed when my 4G gets to like 1 bar.
Yeah.
First world problems, obviously. Hashtag cancel Liam. but genuinely, I'm just like frustrated. No, not frustrated. I'm more just like annoyed at technology. I'm like, why give me good technology and then just make it so shit?
I know for a fact, phone, that you can do everything.
Yeah,
so
I was going to
do
say,
it.
like, there is a fucking mast on the top of the building next to where we are. I should be getting better 4G.
In an apocalypse.
Where's that kid with my latte?
In an apocalypse, end of the world scenario.
Yeah.
Where, for some reason, Wi-Fi has managed to maintain through I don't know the science behind it. Whatever that.
Clearly.
Just the last little bit. If my wife and I was in my den or whatever, the Wi-Fi
You made a
cutting
den.
out,
You made a
whatever.
den.
What I don't
Out of
care.
twigs and
Wherever
wood.
wherever
Okay.
I'm living in this apocalypse thing, running out of
Not
Wi-Fi.
Sam,
would
I
get-
love you, but I'm not sticking with you in this scenario. Like, who's got a good plan? You're like a den. We'll make a
Well,
den.
I don't know what you would call it. Your digs, your house, whatever. The Wi-Fi going
digs.
down. The Wi-Fi going down
Yeah.
would drive me to gear up and go out sooner than running out of food.
Yeah.
I'd wait. I would wait longer and go, do you know what? I can wait before I eat again. Wi-Fi going, I'm like, the fuck am I supposed to do?
I gotta get down to Starbucks. Free Wi-Fi down there.
Honestly, I'd probably join a cult if they would just promise me free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just sort
Free
of like,
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You know, Wi-Fi's not that expensive.
like
Come on.
but I'm not gonna lie, I find cults like quite alluring.
He does.
Especially when there's free punch and
I do feel-
free
I-
Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
I get a
yeah.
message like almost bi-weekly now where he's found another one and I'm like, no, Joe, it's a cult. It's
I think this one's gonna be the good one.
yeah, he's like, Sam, I think
On
this
an Instagram DM, just like, what about this?
he's
No, I'm not joining this cult in Kent.
just to point out, just to make it clear, he's absolutely aware that it is a cult.
Yeah.
It's just he thinks this one's going to be different.
Yeah, like because
Joe gets through cults like most people get through bad boyfriends. That's what it is.
look, this one's gonna be different.
what they
This
say
one,
every time.
this one's changed.
Don't
Usually
get
you
me
can't
started
go
when he
back
try-
to them though,
don't
because
even get me
everyone's dead.
started when he tries to go back to one of the cults he's already been in. It's just honestly.
Yeah, look, the opening bit, like first 20 minutes of a documentary about a cult, it's always like, oh, that seems fun, and then it's like, oh, and then all the bad stuff starts.
Yeah, and then everything turns negative. You know, like that
Yeah.
meme where it's just like, and then it all went wrong.
Ironically, the journey you go through after joining a cult, I'd imagine.
Probably, yeah.
It all just suddenly starts to get bleak.
I tell you
Anyway,
what, I tell you
Mitchell's
what,
in the machines.
yeah, I tell you what isn't bleak. This film.
This
film,
this
absolutely
bloody
brilliant.
film.
I don't. You know what? I'm gonna just come out. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Yeah.
Right,
I don't
okay.
get- this,
Jesus.
this is a hot take. This film,
Am I gonna have to cut this bit as well?
maybe, right? Yeah. Get ready.
All right.
This film, it's funny and moving.
Oh,
Oh,
moving as fuck.
Yeah.
yeah.
And what I thought was cool, throughout.
Yeah.
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 Like it's not even jumping. You wouldn't call it jumping. It's just
Oh, everything
flowing.
like yeah.
All of it just
Like, it just sort of
a beautiful river of emotion and comedy just flowing together.
you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll drown.
You'll drown.
In your own tears. Yeah. Fuck yes. I mean, when we were in the cinema, like, I was making ugly laughs.
Yeah.
And usually those are reserved for my front room.
Yep.
Where we are now.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this one, I've had no qualms with just like letting it go because it was just in some parts just so funny. Anything to do with Moochie, the dog,
Oh,
is
Oh,
just
brilliant.
or Dog Cop.
Dog, pig,
Dog
pig,
cop.
loaf of bread, dog, pig, loaf of bread.
it's I just right at the end where they've established that the mum has been trying to teach him how to like not cross-eyed, like boss-eyed,
Boss-eyed,
like,
yeah.
yeah, like they can focus his eyes, and then you think, oh, they've given him an arc. It's coming together. His eyes focus as like he's gonna like reach out and eat the evil phone.
Catch power. Yeah.
Yeah, completely misses. The eyes focus doesn't matter. I love it. He just seems so oblivious, and he's a tiny gentleman at the end.
He's
Oh,
so
he gets the
desperate.
tiny gentleman. That is so random the way it comes into it because it's not like a thing that the little kid wanted from the beginning.
No.
It's just there's a little bit where he says about it, and they make him do it like it's a callback on that joke they're doing where they cut again, and he's like, and he dresses as a tiny gentleman, and I was just like, That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then he does it. That's amazing. Like, I didn't even need that joke. Like, I wouldn't missing that. I wasn't there thinking, do you know what would be really good if he was a tiny gentleman? But it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
These two robots are just absolutely brilliant. Their whole journey and the way they drive their faces and they keep adapting it.
I think it's one of my favourite moments in the whole film is right at the end, where because they've changed their programming, they don't die with the other robots. And he's like, "Oh, you guys are still here?" And it's like, "Yeah, our programming stopped us from dying." And then one of them just goes, "What is death?"
Let's just put a pin in that.
Yeah.
It's the one where they're like, "We've changed our program," and it's like, "We're scary now." This is a scary face. But yeah, they're fucking brilliant. I love it.
And Maya Rudolph plays the mum.
Yeah,
she's excellent. Big fan of her. I really like the way they didn't like manufacture conflict in the family. Like they had the sort of the daughter and the dad trying to understand each other because they obviously love each other.
Yeah.
And like the conflict is sort of born out of like frustration rather than like, oh, there's a lot of like comedy families who are just sort of like, oh, you stupid kid, and they're like, oh, fuck you, dad. Not with that.
It's all like surface level.
Yeah.
Whereas
this was very like genuine, and apparently it's a very personal story for the director, because it's all sort of based on like his relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I really liked that the mum and the brother were sort of caught in the middle, rather than they didn't give them sort of like, oh yeah, and she's angry with this member of the family
little moments where they're like, when it's going well, or when it's not going well, and it's them sharing a look or a high five. I love that. So this bit, the bit where the robots, are trying to pretend to be human.
Yeah.
And they go to stop it, and he goes to stop, and she's like, no, wait, I want to see where this goes. Brilliant. Oh, it's so funny. And when they pretend to walk downstairs, and she's like, no, wait, I want to see where this goes. And they draw the faces on each other. Oh.
Deborah Bot 5000 and Glaxon 5000.
That's it.
Played by Fred Armstein and Conan O'Brien, respectively.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I thought it was Beck Bennett was Eric.
Glaxon 5000.
Oh, he definitely is Eric.
He's Eric.
Say it again.
Eric. The one of the two robots that joined the
one's Eric
family.
And one's Deborah 5000 Bot. Deborah Bot 5000.
Just read what it says on the IMDb.
At the credits at the end, I tried looking for Eric and it wasn't there.
It's
the way one depicts it to be like this horrible, horrific journey, and it's like, oh no, you
just
can do this. And it's like, but it'd be perilous dangers and miles away.
It gets worse and worse as they go on. Whereas one's just like easily doable.
Oh no, it's really happening.
I love that in the credits. You mentioned the credits. They credit. I've completely forgotten her name. The main character,
Katie,
like the woman who plays her, whose name almost Abby from Broad City.
It
Jacobson.
is, isn't it? That's what I was trying to.
She's great. They credit her as Katie/Dog Cop.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, fair
Brilliant.
one. That's cool.
That's such a great moment when he's watching Dog Cop with the guy who's invented the AI. Like the dad is watching Dog Cop for the first time and realizes that he is the
he's Sarge.
He's
Sarge, and like if you just watch that video at the beginning, because I'm guessing that was the video she was showing him.
Yeah.
The Posies as well. Oh, such a good.
They're played by John Legend and his wife Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
Nice little bit of meta casting. Like
power
couple playing a power couple.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the good bit as well. Like they're kind of like these sort of like you think of them, these Instagram kind of figures, but they're actually quite cool people as well.
Right.
They're quite cool, so it fits as well. Like they would come on and take the piss out of themselves, that sort of thing. But like that's even a bit more messy. But this whole cast was just good. The sub people in it and everything. Olivia Colman, as I said, as Pal is just absolutely brilliant. Like she just nails it.
Yeah, British rogue AI.
Yeah.
I haven't been too many of those, but I did see other than like Hal. I'm pretty sure that's a British.
I never actually thought about who played Hal. Is that? Is it British? It's like transatlantic, I'd say.
I guess so. On that topic, last night, seeing as it was Halloween,
Yep.
I watched the Simpson Treehouse of Horror, where Pierce Brosnan plays the
the housebot.
the housebot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. And falls in love with Marge.
Yeah. Great episode.
Yeah.
And next Halloween we'll be doing a best of Treehouse of Horror for The Simpsons.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
But I know that's 364 days away now.
I'm gonna wish those away. I tell you.
Yeah. But we're gonna go all out for next Halloween.
Yeah.
I think.
Month.
Yeah, we'll do a whole month because I think I said this last episode or the episode before, not to tread the same ground, but there were so many fresh cinema releases post Big Ol' C Word that that was just like, well, I want to go see some fresh releases.
Well, I was thinking about this as well. I feel like Nightmare could be an annual thing where it hits every time, do it different every time.
I don't know.
There's enough to talk about it. At least.
I mean, if it's
the what? Sorry.
Nightmare
Before
we could do it
Christmas.
again. I feel like we could do it again, and there's still plenty to say.
No, don't
Nah.
say.
I
mean, if we're doing
if they do that live action remake that
oh god,
that apparently you read.
Billie Eilish as Sally. God,
I've nothing against Billie Eilish. It just seems so sort of like, who's big now? Who do the kids
Stuntcast.
like? Yeah.
Wait, are you joking?
No.
Oh, we found this out the day after
did it?
we did the episode.
I feel like
we manifested it, I think.
We're
Yeah.
starting to, but
Should we-
accidentally.
Should we manifest something good?
No,
Mitchell's versus the Machine sequel as soon as physically possible.
But that gets a wide release and all the credit it deserves. I mean,
Sweet.
it's getting credit critically, but I just feel like this should be a film that everyone's seen and is talking about loads. I just don't
It's
feel that they
absolutely
are.
crazy that it's like,
Yeah, and it's I don't know. It's hard to really have anything too negative to say.
About
Which
it.
is why we're struggling.
Why do we have to say anything?
I know. It's I'm trying to be critical, if anything.
Okay, yeah, but
Hence, why we're doing this. But
I mean, maybe the film was too funny.
that's not.
maybe it was
that's
just
not-
too. Maybe it was too beautiful.
no.
Maybe it made me think about my relationship with my own parents too much.
God's sake!
Oh,
That's
wow,
not,
Joe.
that's not another
So deep.
reason.
Well, no, my parents are bloody great, and I thought, you know what, fair play.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try. We have to try. Seeing as this is, I deem this as a new release, seeing as it was within a year and it's on a streaming platform.
Yeah.
So
Liam, I want you level with me.
what happens in the second half of this film, Joe?
The second half of this film.
Yeah.
Right. So they are at this like disappointing dinosaur-themed like cafe. The robots they come down and attack. The two malfunction. Eric and something bot 5000.
Deborah
bot 5000. They find out that they about the kill switch. Then so they launch the. They have a plan to go to the nearest like what's it called, POW?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
To go to like the nearest sort of like,
Substitute Apple.
yeah. The nearest Apple store with a modem. That's,
Is it in the mall? Is that they're trying to get to the mall first, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's a
Because it's
mall
like
nearby.
80 miles away.
Yeah.
Mall of the Globe.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they need to upload this kill switch, which I guess the robots provide.
They do. Each
Yeah.
one has one.
Yeah.
Just a little USB stick.
Yeah. So they're going to upload that onto a like power computer to take out the AI system and save the world. They get there, and it leads to an incredible sequence with Furbies.
Oh my god.
That is the
Lovely
hardest.
little plug.
That is the hardest I've laughed.
Honestly, the subtitles that they use for the evil Furbies
Yeah.
are the funniest subtitles you'll ever read.
Yeah, particularly like the giant Furby that comes out and declares it's going to avenge its children. Then like and like when the Mitchells run for it, it's like it says like, "So be it, let the dark harvest begin."
Yeah.
Oh my god. Honestly, we were just absolutely dying with laughter in the cinema. It was crazy. It's that's a great scene, especially and the bits before it where they're on the way, and we have just watched it where they're driving. Is that when when he's like, "Oh, I'm going to teach you to learn how to drive," and she agrees, and then just like
he teaches her while they're being chased.
Whilst they're being chased,
it's
and
a fantastic
the Rick
sequence.
Mitchell maneuver,
Yeah,
which is basically just
breaking the law.
breaking the law, which is basically just downshifting to accelerate really fast.
Yeah,
I go over a really big jump like you're in the Dukes of Hazzard. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it the Rick Mitchell maneuver. Like, I wouldn't say it's like patent pending. I'd say more like, just fucking drive fast.
Yeah, it's
my critical brain did turn on a little bit at that moment where he's been pulled over by the cop, but this is the thing he does regularly. I'm thinking, does this not happen? Why has this guy not been arrested? This must happen. The way he did it and how confidently he did it must happen like that every time.
Well, so here's what I'm thinking. It's established that he's really good at whittling. Well, actually, no, she doesn't realise that, does she, Katie? But he gives her that mousse.
Yeah.
And he whittled that. I reckon he does a secret little whittle for all the cops that pull him over. And they're like, you know what? On your way, son.
All right.
I would find it very hard to arrest a man that just whittled me something.
True. Yeah. Although,
if you whittle me a gift, forever in my mind you shall be.
Absolutely.
Sounds like I've just made up a riddle, but it's just a saying that I've had for all of 45 seconds.
It's something you've always said in the last 45
seconds.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we've always wondered what it meant, and now we know.
These 45 seconds
in these, now probably minute and a half. Yeah. Sweet.
So that sequence though, it's hilarious. But I was also sort of like, yeah, come on, like save the world, and like it just gripped me. And in a way very much with Enter Spider-Verse, I was like a lot more gripped with that than I have been any sort of live action superhero film.
Yeah, you should say.
Yeah, like I don't know why, I just sort of connect to the characters a lot more than like most sort of live action sort of like action movies. And just and even though this is like a wacky adventure, I think it's because it's, I mean, obviously it's like it's not subtle. But it's about saving like their relationship as much as it is the world.
Yeah.
And
there really isn't a lot of that in MCU. Let's just throw it out there. I was gonna try and be like shoot from the hip to everyone, but honestly, like most of the films we see are just MCU movies. So
I mean, that has become like mainstream. Like, I mean, obviously it's mainstream, but it's become like the entirety of mainstream, or like everything is either
and engulfing mainstream.
D-stream, as in like D-E, the main one. It's the mainstream.
Okay.
It's D-stream.
Yeah, or Das stream. Ultra stream.
If you're German, Das stream.
Mega main.
Just mainstream. All right, God.
But like everything is either it's become like everything is either like trying to imitate it, or has become like a response to it, like trying to subvert it.
Well, that works.
Yeah. And that's why Universal's Dark Universe was so bloody good. Think of all the great films they've released with that,
like Shazam, and that's it. No, honestly, yeah, it's great to have an action movie that
so good.
Like the stakes are really high, but that's not just like the be all and end all.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas
there's like an internal.
Yeah, with everything these days. I say everything, like stuff that is just out there in the public consciousness, the mainstream stuff. It is just really just like the stakes are high, so care.
Yeah.
It's just like
there's gonna be a bit where a laser goes into the sky.
Good God, is there going to be a laser in the sky? You know what I mean?
If you liked it once, you'll like it 1,000 times.
In it, I remember a time before the year 2012. So, this ain't your dad's action hero movie. There's a laser in the sky. We've completely changed action movies over here at the MCU. Gone are abs and muscles. And,
oh no, they're still there.
I mean, like over the top steroid abs.
Yeah.
And here comes sky beams and quips about anything. Anything pop culture reference from Tony Stark.
Here at Skybeam Industries. And basically just the suspense of the loading.
Yes. Yeah.
Really got me. Just as someone who's left a lot of coursework very late. Yeah, I could really relate to that. Yeah. And then,
honestly, if you're someone who's ever had to deal with technology our age, uploading is not a word that you like to hear.
No.
Downloading, yes. Yeah. Uploading, no. Because uploading is fucking slow as shit.
You basically live this sequence like every time you have.
100%, yeah.
At least once a week.
Yeah, and it's actually this tense. And with Killer Furbies, every time I'm trying to upload a new podcast.
And that's why you...
with the match introducing the Furbies, like...
Yeah, it's so good. But like they put like it's such a great choice as well because they're so creepy Furbies.
Yeah, so creepy.
I remember my niece had one Christmas, and the whole time I'm just like, this is so unnerving.
Yeah, in the Q&A,
the Twilight of Man.
in the Q&A, they were just like they animated it without Furby's permission.
Yeah,
they literally were just like the Furby was the only thing that they wanted. The only toy that they wanted for this sequence. They started animating it. They obviously told Sony, and they were just like, didn't have a backup.
Yeah, because
they had to send an envoy to a farm in the middle of nowhere, America.
Yeah,
fucking Heartland style. And it's just a guy who owns the rights to Furby who came up with it. He just lives on a farm. That is also creepy.
Yeah. About just a farm of Furbies. What the?
That would be a horror movie in itself.
Sorry, in my head, it's a farm of Furbies. No.
Yeah. Or he's using Furbies as
substitute children.
Well, I'm imagining it's like what's it called? Children of the Corn, but it's Furbies of the Corn.
I kind of expect to go there, and it's real life. The creature that Furby is based on, and it's just a real life.
Oh my god! And it's just like laying in the grass, in the corn. Sorry, and it's just like kill me.
Well,
right. Sorry. Now, they come together as a family to defeat the Furby, the giant Furby, defeat the Dark Harvest. But they break the laptop.
Yep. No. They use like an EMP. No,
the router gets destroyed with
the router. The
something. Well.
Yeah, the router gets destroyed.
Yep.
So obviously that conks out the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
At like 97%.
Yep. And then so they've got to go to the main like power lab, right?
They do.
Yeah.
That's it. They trap they do the snare on the big Furby. And like use the full weight of them all,
which is a callback to the first, which they address. That actually that was when I first thought, oh, this film's going to be really good. Where she's explaining that the dad is like an outdoorsman, and he's like showing them how to set a trap for the snare. Possum, yeah. And then like the John Legend neighbor is walking towards it. And you think, oh, obvious gag. He's going to go up by accident. He pushes him out of the way. He gets snared himself. Funny enough, then gets attacked by possums. I was like, this film gets me.
No, but it's gets attacked by possum. The possum's cooled down, and he's kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
Goes, But even that joke about I think they're saying about how brave. Remember that time where you brought the possums in, and like we all got rabies, and then it was just like,
and now we're all inoculated.
So yeah, we're stronger for it.
The giant Furby just died, and the subtitle said, "To the great darkness I return."
Oh my god, it's so funny,
so good.
All the lines, I just cry with laughter, and the Furby takes out the router. They feel like they've won. We're
I did think this was the climax, and I mean, I don't know how long we are. I don't know how long we are into the film. It's not like it felt
about an hour.
Yeah, and like I guess it's not like I felt like it was long. It just felt like it was so
natural.
Good. Yeah. But then, I mean, that sounds like a criticism, but it's not intended as one. Like you just.
Well, you have to make what you have to. We had to make one criticism, didn't we, Joe?
Yeah. Do you know what? Fuck this film.
Nah, not quite.
Yeah, no.
But it felt like a natural end. But I mean, only an hour in, it didn't feel long. It didn't feel short.
Yeah, just
You were still invested.
Yeah.
It was.
But then, like looking back, I guess it is clearly a not quite ready yet. And I guess it's a testament to it that I was fooled, because like a lot of films, when you get to that point in the story. So I guess this is like the end of the second act.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That sort of false dawn sort of things go wrong. Like you just know it's not settled. And you know going into that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bloody sucker.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Oh. Yeah, the bit with the spiders just coming out of the exhaust pipe there.
Didn't see it coming.
Because there's a bit where he's talking about, we'll go in the old car, to driving you to college. There's a green liquid that we'll discover together.
Green liquid coming out of the bottom of the car. We'll discover it together.
It's such a great selling point.
Yeah. Honestly, Rick is a great character.
It's so funny.
And who is so on point dad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got traits that not every dad is always outdoorsy or but he's got at least one or two traits that every dad has.
Yeah, I think so.
Which helps. Same with the mum.
Yeah.
Same with the mum in this. So
my mum is always baking cakes of my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cookies of my face. They're always melting. No. She's got too much taste for that.
I actually asked my mum to put my face on a cake once, and she said it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and then she said, "And by the way, there's no cake, just more gruel." As we established in The Nightmare Before Christmas, just gruel for you, Sam.
Gruel. The smash cut from. This is the point in the film this is the point in your recordings, Katie, where we'd be walking away from something that's on fire.
Yeah.
Smash cut to they've just burnt them all down. That's so extreme.
It's the build up to it as well. They're like, no, that's so incredibly impractical. We're not going to do that. Like, there's no way we could do that, right? Like, it was so cool, but we're definitely not going to do it.
Yeah.
Smash cut. Yeah. Literally. The mall is on fire.
Is it the crazy 88 sting from from Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill? I mean, a reference at a not a cliche, maybe a cliche now, but something that's been done many times.
Yeah,
still funny.
Very much so. I love that
in this context.
I love that Rick gets more and more into like being in Katie's film, because she's like filming things the whole time.
Yeah,
and like framing it as a narrative. It's I just love him getting more and more into it. Because at first he's like very dismissive of the whole thing.
I just love the bit where this is showing us at the moment, the bit where Pal asks to get put on the table to throw a tantrum.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, it's so funny. The way she just it's so funny.
I love like that. There's a brilliant bit of physical comedy where she and like it's great. It's really cool. They talked about it in the Q&A how they. Like the crack in the sort of story of the computer uprising was making Pal and her creators like relationship, like the core of the like how he's sort of like dismissed her, because he's upgraded, and she gets revenge by taking over the robots and then taking over the world, planning and like when she gets the robots to like treat him like she's been treated as a phone, so they're just like slapping him, like swiping on him, poking him. Really good.
Poke, swipe, poke.
And then like pours like nacho cheese on him, and he's just like rubbing it in him. So good. Yeah, like just little moments like this there where Rick has put his jacket on Katie while she's like sleeping in the car, and there's the really like right at the start. I remember just going like, oh god, like getting emotional when there's that clip of her not wanting to go to camp, and he gives her the moose. I guess
and
the moose
later finding out that the moose is an ornament from the stairs of a house he built.
Yeah. That he's obviously like sold.
That he sold so that they could move to a more suitable
house
or location to raise a family. Yeah, I'm guessing like closer to schools and stuff.
Yeah.
That reveal as well. That scene. I suppose we're not really jumping, but like that reveal where it shows the scene where
He's doing the
kind of-
dad. He's
they
doing the
built-
dad like hands on hips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but they-
doesn't want to show emotion, staring at the thing.
yeah,
You know.
But then it does a bit of a flip because you think it's going to be sad or anything. But he's not at all.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not even phased. And he's just like, it's just hard for you, isn't it? And he's just like no, easiest thing in the world. And it's just because of it's that hit a bit.
It really reminded me of you know when the Simpsons used to have like Heart.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically like season 2, 3 to all the way to like
Yeah.
11 or 12. So.
Well,
Yeah, like, you know, like the good years.
Yeah.
Well, like the classic years.
any
years.
Simpsons episode, it's just Homer. Just by the end of it is okay. So yeah.
Yeah, but like, what I mean is, it's really reminding me of like the classic Simpsons. Do it for her.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh,
he's-
100%.
Yeah.
Very much in the same vein.
Yeah.
And
Homer. Lisa
He could have even
relationship.
said when he was giving it away, he's like, "No, because I'm doing it for her."
Yeah.
He's like, "Straight out of
It's
the Simpsons."
brilliant.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
so nice. It was just like, I liked that they didn't make it a hard moment for him. They made it like they showed you the back of him, and it looked like he was gonna like turn around and it's just
Be
like, this is
stern.
really
I mean,
hard for you,
it-
and he was smiling. But it was just like a not even hard.
Well, it's just it's that thing of like, I think it's only, not to get too like, but like I feel like it's only as you get older when you think about like what your parents do for you over the years. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. It
Um,
really kind of like
And obviously, I've just been a delight, so really they should be thanking me. But no, it's really poignant, and that's the thing. Like the really poignant thing near the start, where it's the scene of the camp, where she's going to camp. That's within like the first 10 minutes or so. I love that like the emotion isn't tacked on at the end.
Yeah. In
In
this one, it's just like peppered ever so rightly in the
just
right
flows.
place.
like a beautiful river.
Yeah, just we're gonna go here.
Yeah.
We're gonna go there. We're
Yeah.
gonna go everywhere.
It's sort of
Just a little bit here, a little bit there.
I think it. I want to say it reminds me of the Goofy movie, but I don't remember the Goofy movie enough. I just remember it being involving a road trip and him trying to bond with his son.
This is very much in the same vein as.
Very much in the same vein.
Now that you've said that, oh my god!
I didn't even make that. Very
Is
much.
this a remake?
Like it's
We didn't have the rights to Goofy, so we made up these characters.
like 100%. Like the
Sony-
the emotions throughout the whole thing, like the comedy. Yeah.
As I say, I don't remember the like the only bits I remember of Goofy movie, like the bit with like the alphabet spaghetti, and the bit where like the Yeti or whatever,
Yeah.
the Bigfoot.
So that's
is
the same
dan-
scene, but yeah.
Oh right, okay. So that scene.
No,
That's all
I think there's a few other parts in there where it's.
Loads of bits,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's. Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
I feel like Sony would
Where he
literally.
changes the map. Oh,
Oh yeah.
fucking. Oh.
Should we? No.
We're gonna review Goofy movie immediately after this.
We'll try and work it in with something else.
Come on, yeah, maybe.
There's a few deep cuts that are on Disney Plus, so I'm thinking might be, maybe combine them.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I feel like Sony have only just let employees watch anything that isn't a Sony property. So basically, someone at Sony said, "Do you know what? I'm gonna give this one a go." You know, like not a lot of people are going straight to that after the overlords allowing them to watch whatever they liked. So, and then he comes running into the boardroom, and he's just like, "Have you seen this kin film? Like, it's goofy, right? Not even Mickey Mouse or any of the other characters, that they could make a lot of money on."
The deeper ones.
Well,
And he's just like, "Oh, we could do this. We got Lego Movie guys.
look,
And we've got a guy who basically has this story written as an idea.
yeah,
I don't know where he got it from. Maybe the Goofy movie.
how about this? Right, instead of Goofy, it's my dad.
Yeah, literally.
And
It literally, maybe it was the director, Michael Rianda.
yeah,
Got it. First time. It was literally just like, look, I've had a traumatic experience with my father. And
Yeah.
we've got a little bit of a strange relationship. Like they said, this is Lord and Miller in the Q&A. Would you be willing to spend $70 million on therapy for me?
yeah.
And my experience is essentially the Goofy movie. And fuck me, Sony said yes.
It's the Goofy movie meets iRobot.
Yeah.
Controversial, right? I think this would still be really good if it was just the Mitchells and they didn't burst the machines, right?
If it was just a road trip movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
But what
those-
would be the...
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a better film.
Like National
I'm just saying-
Lampoon-esque.
Yeah, but like still the idea of like, you know, them bonding and like that
Yeah,
intention
yeah,
and
yeah,
like still with the thing of like Katie being told from Katie's perspective, so she's still involving the sort of different types of animation and everything. I'm not saying better film by any means. I'm just saying still really good.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Obviously, the two sort of strands colliding, but perfect. Mwah.
Yeah.
But still, you know, just still a strong film. Just that's right. That's what you got to do, right? You got to get the characters right before you introduce this like crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I watched Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds over lockdown. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. It's. I mean, hot take, very good.
Wow.
I'm just saying what people are
Don't
too
come in here.
scared to say.
Don't come in here.
But be crazy opinions about films.
Your crazy ass opinions. Alfred Hitchcock, never heard of him.
He's a mug.
Alfred Hitchbop, I've never heard of him.
But yeah, basically, right. It begins with like a sort of like screwball, sort of meet cute almost. Then the like,
Meet cute.
well, yeah, like this
No,
woman.
I know what you mean.
The woman is like, you
Just
know,
can't get over it.
yeah, she's like tracked this guy down.
Never heard anyone describe that movie as a meet cute.
Well, when they meet,
Well, here we are now, though.
not when they meet the birds.
I
That's
know.
not cute. No, but like it begins as like this sort of weird kind of romantic comedy sort of drama.
Yep.
Where you know she's sort of like trying to get hold of this dude. Goes down to where he's staying with like his mum or whatever, and you know but it's like that in itself is interesting, and like you're intrigued, you want to know where it goes, and sort of like the sort of baggage with the ex who's sort of still around, still on the scene. Really interesting character dynamics, and then bang, birds attack. This, you know, I'm gripped. I want them to see them bond, and then bang, robots.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you got to do. You know, you got to.
We've unlocked the key,
Yeah.
and the key is caring.
Oh,
The key is always caring.
The key is always care.
Right. So
Caring about characters.
sorry.
the robots turning back to get their programming sorted as they get to the PAL headquarters, and the Eric and Deborah Bot getting their program sorted. Like that generally hurt a little bit.
It did, yeah.
Like, it was hard to watch.
I was like, no, not them.
No.
They were the ones hunting them
like,
down.
fuck.
Like the parents getting dragged away.
Yeah. Him's like, so obviously the idea that like I really like that there's a lot of sort of commentary on how these companies are stealing your data and everything, and we're being watched like a lot. We're being watched constantly. And how she uses that, like the CCTV footage of Katie telling her brother that like she's just telling the dad what he wants to hear, when she tells him that she needs him to like make her plan work to defeat the robots. Like that, like by that the time, you know, by that, like, you know, so invested by that point. That scene when I was like watching it was just like
Crushing.
yeah, absolutely.
You know it's coming as well.
Yeah.
When she's starting to show all the clips, and you realise the clip.
Honestly,
line
you
that she's
know
showing.
it's coming as soon as she says it.
Yeah.
You're just like, well, this is getting revealed later,
Yeah.
and it's going to be hard to take.
Yeah.
So
No, but I thought it would be more. He'd find out she said it or something,
Right,
Or
yeah.
find out, but not. He literally has to watch it happen.
Yeah.
That was that hit. Yeah.
And by that point as well, you're so like their reaction. Like he basically like freezes in like sort of disappointment and shock, and you know just reveals that they've infiltrated the base disguised as robots. But it doesn't like you just totally buy that. That's just absolutely gutting for him.
Yeah.
You know,
Kills him.
it feels completely earned, and her sort of like shame. Another thing this film does really well. I don't like the song that they sort of sing. You know that like T.I. and Rihanna. I don't hate it. It's just
No,
it doesn't appeal. But like it feels like they like it's like perfectly chosen.
yeah.
Especially, I didn't realise. I was gonna say. So when it first happens in that bit where they're doing the kind of like thing, the reason that's so good is it is so ridiculously cringy, cheesy.
Yeah.
That is
It looks
possible.
like a real video between a dad and a
Yeah.
and a girl that age.
Yeah.
But it pans out perfectly when they play it at the end, and when it kicks in and they're doing the fight, it's fucking sick.
Yeah,
it's such a good scene,
and
and it just goes so well with it, and like it's
because
a cool action.
they're in like clouds when they're
Yeah, they're
So
like
floating.
they're flying on Eric and Thingy, like
Yeah.
surfing on them,
Yeah.
and just going through killing all the robots, sort
Yeah.
of thing. But it's a really cool action scene
Yeah.
with a really good backdrop music to it. But it was this Maya Heave song.
Yeah.
I completely forgot it drops into like that bit. But
once again, it's it's them coming together emotionally and as like a fighting unit.
Yeah.
And I probably bring it up too often. I don't know if I have brought it up on the podcast, but I bring it up a lot in general conversation.
Yeah.
Die Hard, right?
Christmas movie.
Well, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But there's Jingle Bells on the soundtrack, right? Anyway, right. So Die Hard. The guy is like saving a building full of hostages, but he's also saving his marriage.
Yep.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
Right. All I'm saying, like to a lot of the modern superheroes and those sorts of films, just give me more of something like that. Do you know what I mean? Something like this film, like just where it's obviously there is the external threat you're dealing with, but there's also the
internal.
Yeah.
The stakes
You gotta have the stakes, otherwise, otherwise you really haven't got a movie.
No.
And then you've just got to have the what's it really about?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what's it really about?
Yeah. It doesn't even have to be like that deep. Just give it some substance.
Yeah.
The stakes of the world should mirror the stakes of the heart.
Yeah. And like they got to be given the they have to sort of. Oh, I don't know. Just make it good.
Just fucking do it good. Yeah.
Oh god.
And also feature more dog cop.
More dog cop.
Yeah.
More dog cop and Sarge.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean it's really great, and we were just laughing throughout, and I just even when you get to the end, like there's not a lot. This is what I've said prior to the podcast when we were talking about it. I know this might just be me because I haven't seen maybe as much animation as I probably should.
Yeah, I feel I'm in a similar way. Like I totally love a lot of animated films and really love animation as like a medium.
Yes,
and as Lord and Miller was saying, like animation is a medium, not a genre.
Yeah.
And I've heard like Brad Bird, the director of The Incredibles, and some live action stuff as well. And Iron Giant, one of my favorite animated films. I've heard him say that in the past. It's so true. Like I think people see animation as being very just one particular thing.
Yeah.
And it's. And if any, basically,
But it is a medium because there's so many genres of the medium.
Yeah, and
so...
it can be anything.
Yeah.
They do it so well, and I just feel like I know you're not as fond of like the sort of the later Pixar's like Coco and stuff, but
my faith got shaken, or got shook.
Right.
I'm not quite sure the better dictation, but so much so that I just kind of went off the idea of just like putting it on.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Just like giving it a chance.
Okay.
That's a prejudice on my part.
Yeah.
Like, and I will like I said, I haven't watched Moana.
You need
I've
I've actually seen Moana, but I was meant to.
I've seen Frozen. Like,
I mean,
just because it was such a juggernaut that I just.
I've not actually seen Frozen, but like Coco and Inside Out are films I'm really fond of.
Didn't like Inside Out.
Oh,
Sorry.
Inside Out. Or...
I probably loved it, but
Coco I haven't seen, but I want to see. But yeah, Moana needs to be seen.
it's I'm not denying it. I got a bit of baggage with Moana, but I won't go into it. Anyway, it's not me. It's not Moana. It's me. No. So what I'm saying is with a lot of the mainstream animated films that I've seen, I feel like there's just so much more care put into the writing.
Yeah.
I mean, even though you didn't like Inside Out, there's a lot of thought that's gone
some
into
of the ideas and the concepts are absolutely fantastic.
and there's a lot of thought that's gone into the structure and stuff, and I feel like a lot more.
It's got funny bits in it.
Yeah,
it's got some good writing in it.
And like the story,
overall, just didn't like it.
Yeah.
but I mean, what I feel is I just feel like there's so much more care. There's so much more care. Eyes of a pterodactyl. So there's so much more care, it seems, put into the script of a lot of these mainstream animated films than live action films of like a similar sort of budget.
Oh yeah.
and I just wish they.
I mean, it wasn't
Another great.
It wasn't a small budget, 70 million.
No,
but
not
small in comparison to some films
a lot of these
that are a
others.
lot more. Like
Yeah, and getting a wide release.
Another,
which is
Yeah.
definitely
another
deserved.
great kind of ties in with this and Spider-Verse sort of thing. Another great superhero movie that's animated about family, The First Incredibles.
Yeah.
Like, and the
Yeah.
concepts and stuff involved in that are just timeless.
Yeah,
Absolutely incredible.
brilliant.
Like, just brilliant.
But yeah, basically what I'm saying is I should watch more animated stuff. It's
Yeah, me
just-
too.
I just it just sometimes just doesn't occur to me to like
Yeah.
whack it on.
Yeah.
And feel like I'm missing out on a lot of good stuff. Although that's not entirely my fault because this should have been promoted more.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
This
I
is
can't believe-
this is not on us.
No.
Not
It's so
not
bizarre.
reviewing it and not seeing it
If you hadn't
prior.
got if you hadn't got the invite, I don't think I'd ever have seen this.
Same. I don't
And
know why I
it's-
said scene instead of
And
saying.
it's
Scene.
it's instantly,
And scene.
and it's instantly become one of my favorites. Like, it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
This studio, I've got a lot of confidence in, or whatever. Sorry,
Yeah, it's just
creative-
Sony's animation studios.
Yeah,
Because I think they just met Mike Rianda while they were making Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yes.
Like they're just like in the same office or something.
Oh no, that's when they went to see him about his pitch.
Oh.
He was in their old office when they were
Right.
making Lego Movie.
Oh, and that's when they felt like it was like
Lego Movie or Spider-Verse, one of the two.
yeah.
And they were just like, oh, this looks familiar. Like, oh, and looks familiar as well. Wait, this is our office. Their old office.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's they say this is like a kindred spirit kind of mix. A kindred spirit meets where they're just like they just get on.
Yeah.
Lord and Miller and the director.
This bit
Rihanna.
on the screen at the moment, it's the end part of the movie, like the fast forward bit, the sort of building to that last final fight. Just quickly, this is probably a combination of my two favourite scenes that it keeps cutting between, where the dad's going absolutely mental, trying to
use
he's turned it
YouTube.
Spanish and YouTube and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and then it also cuts to, I think, the mum, who's currently being trapped by the robots,
Yeah.
because that's why she can't operate the phone.
And she's gonna bust out.
But then sees the boy
Yeah.
get captured, and the way the robots react to her is
Yeah.
is probably one of my favorite. Like, she's some dark one,
Yeah.
and they start to like these proper like the more robot than the robots before.
Yeah, they're like the upgrade robots.
sentient
Yeah.
robots that just go literally like this weird goddess
They just
woman
look like the
suddenly.
Killertrons in it. They're just
Yeah.
like they got knives for
Apparently
hands.
they're voiced by like an NBA player.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, as a man who grew up with a tough mum,
Yeah.
I can really relate to that. The like the mum just being
Yeah.
like a sort of super killer when it comes to the family, you know.
Just the way how scared they get of her, like
Yeah.
I can't remember some of the lines they come out with, but it's literally just like they start fleeing.
Yeah.
They start fleeing her, and then when they're having that fight and that like last end fight bit like to it, they know she's coming and are already scared of her. Oh, I love it.
I really love that Katie and the brother whose name I can't remember, Aaron, have a good relationship.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
don't know. That's never the problem. Yeah,
No.
exactly.
It's just so much more fun.
Yeah,
than
exactly.
If she was like, God, my annoying little brother.
Plus the age gap with him, the age he is a German, I find that probably the case more. Especially when the ages are closer anyway. So when those shows when it's like you've got the like 18-year-old sister and the 10-year-old brother still fighting,
Yeah.
you kind of look at the sister like he's 10.
Yeah.
Like, I know he might get on your nerves a little bit and stuff, but come on.
Actually, to be fair,
You're
it's
effectively
It's
one
just
of his
refreshing that they
caregivers.
don't hate each other.
It is, yeah.
Honestly.
It's been done to death.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, my there's about that age gap between my eldest niece and my eldest nephew, her brother.
Yeah.
And she used to batter him, to be fair. But it really toughened him up, so fair play.
Oh, okay.
Tough love.
I mean,
Yeah.
If not anything else.
Yeah. They stop now. They don't do that
It's the
anymore.
blood splatters of
The
oil.
blood splatter from the robots.
Buzzcut.
And as someone of a certain age,
Mm.
all of us around a certain age, we've all had someone of a certain age, predominantly older than us,
Yeah.
ask us to explain to them technology.
Yeah,
And just, it's the fear. It's his fear.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not particularly tech savvy, but it's just if you give me like, if I sit down at a computer or given like a laptop phone, and I'll try and work it out.
Yeah.
There is a certain sort of age of person where, oh, what's that? Something on the computer I haven't done before. If I press the wrong key, everyone I know will die.
Yeah, literally, like I feel like that's part of it.
That's the level that they're at in their brain. When actually the worst that could happen is just like, oh, it turned off.
Yeah, I've got to restart it.
Yeah.
Dog pig, bread, dog pig.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a tech guy at all, but I've somehow inherently become the tech guy of my family.
I mean, it comes with your age.
Yeah.
Like if you're
no,
it genuinely does. Like
George is our age, and I'm still the tech guy.
Yeah,
but he's younger than me.
Mate, no offense.
It's the nerd thing.
He's doing that as like a Sam can be the tech guy.
It's the nerd
yeah,
thing.
he's seeing it as a power move.
Yeah, he's already got the looks and the muscles and everything. No,
It's just,
It's the nerd thing. It's kind of nerdist. I'm just going to throw it out there.
What you mean the popular YouTube network?
Yeah.
No, 2 reels we're called.
Shit.
God's sake, Joe. So we all know adults like that.
Yeah.
I say adults as if we're not in our 30s.
What are you talking about, man? Kids rule, adults straw.
Hey there, fellow kids.
I'm wearing a backwards cap right now.
Yes, and I also know how to skateboard.
All right, Andrew Garfield.
Play me some Coldplay. They're new.
Hannah Montana, am I right?
So it's he goes to the extreme though, where it's just like the joke is like everything he's doing is going wrong. Like basically how they think it would go.
Yeah.
It's like that's the reality for Rick.
Changes the language.
It's and the world is literally at stake. It's beautiful, and just the fact that he's trying to upload Cop Dog because the robots can't comprehend their dog's face. They can't understand
one of
whether
the
it's
gags. Yeah,
it's whether it's a pig, a dog, or a loaf of bread.
Yeah,
and it like just shuts them down. It's such a good
strapping
idea.
Moochie to the front of the car.
Yeah,
to basically obliterate all the robots.
Yeah.
Because of their system error by thinking he's a dog, pig, loaf of bread. Is fantastic because it's literally just like an offshoot joke.
Yeah.
That happens to the other 2 robots. We're going to call them Eric and Deborah-Bot 5000.
Yeah.
And for that to be like used as a defense mechanism against like the army of robots at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Great little callback.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ends up literally becoming a pivotal part of how they win. It's literally when the dad is literally trying to get the dog's face on screen to stop the rest of the robots.
He does.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I just could talk about the dad and the dog. That bit in the like dinosaur cafe when the robots are first taken over, where he says to the son, like, "Son, I love the dog. We all love the dog, but you've got to get used to the fact that you're probably going to have to eat the dog." Such a great line.
And their reaction to it.
Him always carrying a screwdriver and like giving it to the mum as a like anniversary gift. And like, well, he's giving
other presents.
Yeah,
to the kids as well.
And like left the tooth fairy left one under the.
Yeah.
Like my dad's not that extreme, but it does remind me of just like my dad's just seemingly endless supply of tools.
Yeah.
To the extent where when I've gone round like someone's house to help with like DIY, and like a friend of mine just and my drill's run out of battery, and I was like, "Oh, well, where's your other one?" And he's like, "I've just got the one drill." I'm like, "What?" Are you insane? So yeah, I can really relate to that. So basically, they save the world, and she gets to college, and I just really love that she's a lesbian, and it's not a big deal. Well, like, she's not necessarily a lesbian, but she's in a relationship with a woman at the end.
Yeah,
and it's sort of it's implied that she's like. I picked up that they were like, had like romantic feelings, her and Jade.
I didn't until that last little bit of the way, but I liked it as a little throwaway line.
Yeah, no, I love it. That's what the thing.
Yeah, but I didn't pick it up before.
Yeah,
I thought it was just mates uni chatting.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought that was like the subtext.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't until this, just watching it just within it, I thought it was still a group chat. When the dog comes through in a wink face and she says to "Hi, I'll be there soon." I don't actually realise it's between her and the girl.
Oh yeah, there is. There is like a group chat, but it's like
it was still the group chat.
Like the bit where it's getting. I could just. Yeah. I don't know. I just got picked up on bits. But yeah, like I just love that it's just. She's lesbian and it doesn't matter.
It's not a big deal.
No, I love it, and like I love that. That's
because
not the conflict.
That's because humans don't go around talking about their sexuality all the time.
Exactly, and like.
But your mum
or
when
not.
you're voice recording, especially a bit of an involved moment like that, just asks the name of the person you're dating.
Yeah.
That's it, and it's just like.
And also I just love that it's like a shit. You know, Schitt's Creek. Is it Dan Levy said like he didn't want to betray? Is Dan Levy? No, it's not.
Yeah. No, he's Dan Levy. Dan Levy.
Dan. Like, he said like he didn't want to betray homophobia because he doesn't respect it, and like, obviously,
the whole point with that as well, and it's very similar to this sort of thing, is that there's very much a lot of whenever they do things with gays over that, there's always the struggle.
Yeah.
He didn't want to show the struggle. He wanted to show the world as it should be.
Yeah, and like that's
It's a part of the world, and that's it.
I feel like I feel like they've done that here, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also that it's because this is, I know we've really like a lot of the film appeals to a lot of the humor appeals to adults, but in a way that's like it's just so like silly. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, there's some animated films where it's like, here's some references to like a film from the 70s, or it's just for the adults.
Yeah. No.
Like I feel like this appeals to both in the humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's not exclusionary to anyone.
No.
At all.
No.
It's not like because the adults will only get this joke.
Yeah.
It's genuinely not like that.
No.
I don't think there's any particular joke that's like, that's for us.
Yeah.
Just genuinely not.
Which is
like that.
so rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
If anything, like the people who are, the most prominent offenders of that is probably, from what I can remember, is like DreamWorks pictures from the noughties.
Yeah. Like Shrek. There's Shrek does a lot of that, and also
sometimes from Disney's Renaissance from the 80s to the
like
90s.
A lot of what Robin Williams is doing in Aladdin. Because I guess what he's doing is so like high energy, it appeals to kids anyway.
Yeah.
But like, there's
the actual content.
Yeah,
is for adults.
Yeah. But I love that dog.
I didn't realise that was a Jack Nicholson impression when I first watched it.
Oh yeah. No, nor did I. Yeah. I didn't know who Jack Nicholson was probably until I was about 12. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's
such an obscure Jack Nicholson, one of a character as well.
Yeah,
it's a really random one of his to do.
And it's like one where there are no Jack Nicholson films that a kid should be watching.
No, not at that age. We don't know who Jack Nicholson is.
But like, there was that awful film where Will Smith plays a fish.
Shark's Tale.
Yeah, I feel like the whole film is just sort of like, well, look, the jokes for the adults and the nice animations for the kids.
Yeah. It's not like that anymore.
No, and this isn't like that. And what I'm saying is, because this film is something that kids can watch, and there's like LGBTQ character, and it's not a big deal. It's and it's not like hinted at either. It's out there.
Yep.
But I just think it's great.
Yeah.
And like positive.
So well.
So what are we giving this movie? And what are we giving this movie out of? So, what's the units of measurement?
Yep. I'm going to nominate Dark Harvests, just because...
I feel like we could go one subcategory up and just have giant Furbies.
Yeah, okay, yeah, giant Furby, yeah.
Giant Furby overlords.
Yeah, giant Furby overlords.
Cool, yeah.
Very well done there, Sam.
Sorry, quickly before we give a rating, I just remembered I haven't... Eric Andre. Right.
Yes.
He's great as the tech guy.
Yes.
Didn't mention him before. Brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the limited role that he is in.
Yeah.
I know it's a
supporting role.
Character.
Yeah.
It's a supporting role.
But pivotal.
But a good one.
And just that line where it says, who'd have thought, like, just sort of harvesting everyone's data as a giant corporation would be a bad thing.
So on the nose, but still needed to be said.
Yeah, it should be said daily.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, so
meta.
So just cooking up some meats.
Honestly, I had to resist because it was literally the day after Facebook parent company changed its name to Meta, and they made the joke in this film. I was like gripping to the seat, trying not to yell it out loud. I was like, I could ruin everyone's day for a joke, and I have done before. It's not out of my wheelhouse to do so.
It wouldn't be totally off brand.
Wouldn't be totally off brand, but I thought, do you know what? Better act normal because you're not going to get invited back.
Not at the expense of Chris Hewitt and everyone who invited podcast. He was really nice.
Lovely guy.
Actually, just want to say one more thing. When we first went into the venue, it's this really like posh house and that. like private members club in it.
Yeah.
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 Member of the club.
Literally, it was something out of Toast of London. It is like the Colonial Club.
Yeah.
It literally looked like that inside.
Yeah, no, I saw the pictures. Yeah, I've seen them. A similar one like that. I like those.
Like when we went in, we got like led to like down where we were supposed to go to by the receptionist. She was really nice, but then it was just like so quiet and a bit deserted. I was like, "Is this a setup?"
I think.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah.
I think that's where.
But then you could just see that. I'd googled what the theatre, where the place was.
Yeah.
So I knew what the theatre looked like. You know, with they had like nice table lamps and nice.
Is that
little...
not where we went for Watchmen all those years ago?
No, not at all. Because where we went there was a massive theatre.
That's true.
Which turned into a cinema. That's this was just underground under the Colonial, aka Soho House in Soho. Ironically, unironically or ironically, I'm not quite sure. I've got a bit of a cold, so it's like we should have been going to see Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
That would have been like had some kind of inception. I don't even understand.
Soho-ception.
Yeah, literally, and you know what I mean. So, So, ratings wise, Sam, what are you going to give it out of giant Furby overlords?
5.
Nice. Is that 100%. The first 5 you've ever given?
No.
On the podcast?
Oh, actually, maybe because I agreed with the 5 for Lord of the Rings, but I wasn't on that one.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't think that
way
counts.
Before yourself.
I don't think it counts if you weren't on the episode.
Yeah, I mean that's unofficial. That like we talk in a WhatsApp group. If you're giving 5s in a WhatsApp group, that's an unofficial 5.
Yeah. So this is your
only official 5s happen on the podcast.
You broke the rating system and gave Shang-Chi a 6.5.
Holy shit!
That was your.
Gave it a 3.5.
God, Jesus Christ!
But I was still getting used to the whole 5 thing. No, even with comparing this to all, doing the exact thing I've been doing, being the harsh ruling, comparing it to all other movies, what I would give this movie, what I would give that movie. It
gets harder over time, if I'm being honest.
100% a 5.
Wow, 100%
this is a 5.
Is that probably the biggest rating ever?
Yeah,
this podcast. Yeah, someone's saying it's 100%.
Yeah, this definitely falls.
Say 100% of 5.
Yeah,
it's that whole told you. There's a wide range of it. It doesn't have to be my favourite movie, but it's definitely not a 4. It doesn't get a 4. It's a 5.
I gave
Giuseppe. What are you going?
Hey, well, here's the thing. I do want to give it a 5.
Right.
But I'm the bad boy of the podcast.
Right. Okay.
No.
Here
what it is
Mr. I loved it. Oh, I can't.
Yeah. You picked up on the judgy look. Yep, I was like,
here we go.
Look,
for those who couldn't see,
I'm joking.
Yeah,
I was giving Joe a judgy look when he said, "I want to give it a 5," and it took about 2 seconds before he clocked that I was giving the judgy look.
5.
It was the judgiest look ever, and I responded with a look of hurt and confusion.
It did. I saw the hurt, and I liked it.
I do want to give it a 5. I'm kind of thinking it's actually like it's great, innit? 5. Yeah, 5.
It's great, isn't it?
We literally haven't been able to say anything bad about it.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe I knew it was really good, but because the experience was cool. Yeah. Maybe that was sort of adding to it. But just the more I think about it,
I know we're different people, so different opinion of things. But I watch it at home on my own, on the TV.
Yeah.
And 100% think it's a 5. I don't think the experience heightened. It might heighten it a bit, but it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's a 5, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And Lee and Reedy are going to give it a out of 5.
Giant
Furby. Furry.
Oh God!
Oh no! I've opened the portal.
Giant Furby.
Giant Furby overlords. I give it a Netflix presents 5.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. Beautiful.
I love it. It's been a lovely episode.
It's been a lovely episode.
I mean,
nice little change of pace.
Yeah, I don't know if it can be broadcast.
We can't let everyone know that we are overwhelmingly positive. We were quite overwhelmingly positive about June, I think.
I've been
you guys.
I've been on 3 episodes.
The early days of this podcast are very hit and miss.
That's because we pick classics.
Back to the Future, Lord of the Rings. There's nothing but negative, positive ones in those.
I've been on 3 episodes so far.
Spoilers.
Oh.
I don't know why I said that.
No, it's my 3rd episode, and this is like the 3rd film I've been praising. I just want everyone to know, I'm a
harsh critique.
Yeah, I'm a nasty guy. Yeah, there's acid in this saliva. I'm like a xenomorph or something. I'm like Ripley in Alien Resurrection. I'm the monster's mother.
Wow.
So, tiny gentleman.
So hopefully next time for the sequel, it'll be the Mitchells versus Joe Cassidy.
Joe Cassidy's harsh critiques. No, I mean, just you all right? Because I'm gonna be on the spoiler. I'm gonna be on the Amazing Spider-Man episode, right? Yeah, and then I'm gonna scorch the earth. No, seriously, 5 stars for Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, you said it. I was gonna say, like, we already know that's fine.
Yeah. And I think if it's not the Mitchells versus Joe Cassidy's critique of Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, then I think it's a missed opportunity from Sony.